The Department of Energy has recently put out some numbers about the number of jobs that have been created in the EV sector, clean energy sector overall, but in the EV space, it is the fastest growing in terms of jobs. More than 38,000 jobs added last year. I may be putting you on the spot here, but how big of a difference is it when you talk about pay between a union job and a non-union job in a comparable position?
That's where the strength of the UAW really can they can sort of flex their might. It's pretty significant. EVs are much simpler to manufacture by several orders of magnitude. So you imagine this is sort of, the UAW is facing maybe not an existential threat, but they're definitely looking at the future of their members and saying, look, if these EVs are much simpler to manufacture, they require fewer people to do that, less time to do so. We want to ensure that our workers are protected, not just for the duration of this upcoming contract, which is about 4 years, but longer term. We sort of want to set the stage of, that the UAW certainly has a place at this table moving, into the next 20 years that these EVs are built.
And David, is the expectation that the same number of jobs will be available on the other side?
That's going to be a main sticking point. The UAW is fighting for that. They're asking automakers, maybe who are closing a union plant, in the Northeast, and then opening up for potentially a battery plant elsewhere in the country, like Seth was saying, in a right to work area. They're asking that there's a union consideration, or certainly there's been some noise recently with a battery plant in Ohio, where the UAW they've voted to join the UAW, but they haven't yet ratified a contract. And that's a battery plant. So UAW is certainly looking for all the opportunities that, as old school manufacturing of ICE closes down or shifts, that they have a seat at the table, regardless of where those plants are opened.
Seth, the president has made job growth within this sector, within the IRA, or under the IRA, I should say, really a central theme as he sort of touts his economic accomplishments. But I'm thinking back to a year ago when the IRA was passed, where he talked about not just good paying jobs within a new industry, but also helping workers transition into these new skills. You think the White House has done enough to help workers who have been in these more legacy businesses transition into this new economy, particularly union workers?
The critical issue in that transition is, as David said, going to be wages. Can workers earn the same quality wages in an electric vehicle battery plant that they were earning when they were helping to build internal combustion engine vehicles? And in that plant that David mentioned called Ultium Cells, the UAW has already cut a deal with management, even before they get a full collective bargaining agreement, to immediately raise wages for the workers in that battery plant. That's what I expect to see happening throughout the industry. The transition, the skills transition, I think is not going to be especially difficult. These are very highly skilled workers with a lot of experience with automotive manufacturing. I think that teaching them how to make lithium batteries is not going to be all that challenging. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. The question is going to be, will they want to transition into those jobs because they are high-paying jobs with good quality benefits and where they have a union in the workplace to defend their interests?